Okay, welcome back, everybody, to Walking Between Worlds with Leanne McLaughlin and Diane Adams. We are so happy to have you here. I am Leanne, and this is Diane.
Hello.
So today we thought we would talk about um, how how we experience things as our vibration changes. So as you heal and grow and shift in your awareness and your consciousness, relationships are going to change between you and others who maybe aren't necessarily doing that work, and how to deal with endings and new beginnings and all of that wrapped up in a big bow. That's kind of our introduction. Hey, Diane.
Yeah, no kidding. And we have to tell you this. This is all impromptu. It's always our first take because we're just having a conversation. And even
Yeah.
creating this was the right energy. We talked about it last year and then let it aside. And then it was 2 weeks ago. I'm like, we should do that. And then boom, all of a sudden in 4 days it's created. So that was definitely our new beginning. So vibrations, that's a really good one. We change so much. And then you walk into a room and the conversation you had with somebody, it just doesn't fit anymore. And in that there can be guilt. You feel like there's something wrong with you because you're trying to force something that it had its time. It had its time and you enjoyed it for its moment, but in your growth you're going to notice that things are going to start to vibrate a little differently. So I just want all you guys to pay attention to that. So if something feels like it's ended or you're just not connecting with situations the way you did, you've grown and maybe they've grown a different way too, and that it's okay. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I know when I first started out on this whole journey, like, full disclosure, people who've known me for years, I was a big party girl back in the day. When I first started coming to Mexico, I was a nurse who was burnt out. I was coming here to let off steam for a week. And, I was this crazy person and I was fun. I was the life of the party. Everybody wanted to hang out with me. And so that had its time. But then when I started to, you know, do some of the soul searching and recognize there's more to this, and recognizing my gifts as being able to help people through their healings in a different way and energy, and that whole world made me realize, like, that's not really what I want to do anymore. And so I started moving away from that. But I didn't have a new tribe of people around me yet who were in this real sort of conscious spiritual way, and I didn't know anything about it. And so the other people who knew me as this, party girl, they're like, who does she think she is? What like, because I'm changing the rules, I'm changing, but it felt so much better being who I was. Like, do I still like to have fun sometimes? Of course, like, that's what life is about. But changing changing those fundamental things and recognizing where you belong, that's your authenticity unfolding. And that's not an easy road, but it feels better once you step into that.
Yeah, because it's almost to the people around you that you've changed the game. And speaking of that, like I'm a wild girl at times for sure. That's just, again, my Gemini self. And I remember some friends had come up years ago and he turned to me, says, Di, this isn't you, right? Because I moved in the middle of pretty much nowhere, where that's where my peace is. This isn't you. No, 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 this isn't. No way, it's not you. And I said, yeah, it is. I've changed. I'm still me, but I've changed in my heart, and I'm so more at peace. So for a while, you're going to try and fit yourself back to where you were, but that puzzle piece, I don't want to say broken because nothing's broken, but that puzzle piece doesn't fit anymore. And so just saying to anybody out there, if you're finding this is happening and you're trying to, push that puzzle piece back in the puzzle and it's not fitting, well, it's not supposed to anymore. And also there can be a sadness because people that you know and maybe you were super close to, maybe it's something that you slipped or you did, and now they're going to outgrow you. So it's both ways. And I've had that situation happen in the probably in the last year or two. I kind of knew it was going to come to a close, but then it did, and I take full responsibility for my part in that. But there was still a sadness, but now I'm thankful for the situation because during that time there was so much love and growth that happened, and then out of that I also grew. So I guess a big part is not feeling guilty that you've changed or somebody else has.
Well,
That's that whatever saying, sorry, a season, no, what is it? A reason, a season, a lifetime.
I was
It's so
just about
true.
to say that you're reading my mind, but it's true.
Sorry.
No, no, I love it. It's don't go in there. It's
Get in
crazy.
there.
Um, but yeah, like it's true. And so there are friends who you can like not talk to for months and months or even maybe years and reconnect with, and you just meet them where they are and where you are, and it's great. And that's lifetime friends. And those are few and far between, but like, I know I still have a few of those and you probably do too. But there are definitely
Hmm.
people who I became very close to for a period of time, and then some big lessons and growth happened, and then that was over. And it's okay. It's okay to let that go with love and to send them love, and know that there's something else or someone else that's waiting to come into your life. Like look at you and me. Diane and I only met a little over less than 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Can you
I
believe that?
know.
And yet we've become
No.
like we were absolutely soul sisters from the first hug that I got from you. Like what a beautiful reconnection for, in another life, like we knew each other from before. And so your soul will recognize your soul family as you open yourself up to make space for them, by maybe releasing some of these connections that just don't serve, not that it's about serving you, but you've outgrown them. And it's okay to open your heart and your mind to new experiences and new people who would maybe connect you with things and lessons and energies that you never would have imagined. I'm very grateful for
So yes, I'm grateful for you too. And to let people know that you're not alone. Like you're not alone in this. Sometimes there just isn't a definition for what we're going through, and we're figuring this out as we go along. Just like this podcast, we're figuring it out as we go along. But you're not alone. You're changing. You're shifting, and things are going to
this.
look different.
Sorry, I just got
Yep. Nope.
excited. This reminded me of a reel that I did about boundaries too, right? Because as you grow and you do some of your own healing, you start to have more respect for yourself. So instead of putting yourself in some of these situations where you may have been compromising your own feelings or your own what felt right to you, when you start to say, that doesn't work anymore, and you set a boundary and say, I'm not going to have this toxic whatever in my surroundings in my life anymore. You set a boundary, and then people don't like that necessarily, but you have to hold true to yourself, because if you don't, no one's going to. And so a piece of that does come with having to set a boundary about certain things. Like this person who you said was telling you that's not you, this place isn't you. Well, what does he know about who you are? He has a perception of who you are. But when you tap into who you really feel is your authentic self and what feels right, so then you have to set a boundary and be like, yeah, it is me. And if you can't respect that, then you don't get to have a piece of my time anymore, in a nice way. I don't mean that in a jerk way.
Oh, I get that. And people are going to be sad, and you're not doing it to be hurtful. You've just grown, and maybe sometimes there could be a conversation around it. A lot of times there can't. And I think that's where the struggle can be. So it's almost like it's not closure because some things just end so abruptly that you never get to finish it. You never get to heal that. And that's just, that's just the way it is. But if you ever do get the opportunity and you're feeling that, it doesn't hurt to say to somebody like, okay, Leanne, I'm going through some stuff. I'm changing. It's nothing personal. I'm just figuring this out as I go along as well. But we don't always get to have those conversations, and that's okay too.
This is making me think, Diane. I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this before today, but a teacher that I had along the way somewhere talked about how as we grow and our vibration changes, have giving yourself the opportunity to look back at situations and relationships from the past when you can see it from the new vibration. Like let's say something happened in your 20s and you felt very victimized, and you tell that story 1,000 times, and he said this and did that, and I was hurt and I was the victim because he treated me this way, and can you believe it? And that gets burned on your brain, and the way you tell the story is in a certain way. When you get to a different vibration, and you grow and you look back at the story, and you really look at it and you tell it from your with using your words and your power, your empowerment and your vibration from today, you're not a victim anymore. And so as we grow and change, it really is something that is a huge gift to be able to heal things going back. I don't know that that's exactly what we're talking about, but it just made me think that I needed to kind of drop that seed for somebody needed to hear that, I think. I don't know why. But it's an interesting
Mhm.
practice.
Well, I like that because some people like to bond to their trauma and that
Exactly.
they won't get over it because that trauma is part of them now. It's part of their story. It's like sickness. Now I'm identified through my trauma, and through my trauma, I can do this because this is the way I am. It's because of my trauma. So
Yeah.
they're still sitting in that low vibration and not trying to evolve or heal out of it. Not everybody's going to in this lifetime either. And I think we're just trying to bring an awareness on all kinds of different subjects. It might resonate, it might not, something to ponder, as I like to say. And we're human and we're real. And sometimes we feel broken, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Just don't live in it. Don't
Right.
sit in it and allow that to dictate everything in your life. Well, you can, but it's not going to be very happy.
No, because as we've said before, you have to honor and grieve things, these endings as they come, but you can't sit there
Yeah,
because then you're going to focus on it and create more in that vibration. So,
yeah.
okay, well, I think that that about sums up what we wanted to sort of cover today. We kind of jumped all over, but I sort of feel like it was necessary.
Mm-hmm. I think so. And again, take what resonates, take pieces of it, and
Yeah,
it's not all going to resonate.
yeah.
I think we
No,
channel
true.
half of this too, or whatever
Exactly.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, until next time, thank you for joining us. We are so happy to have each and every one of you here. Every time that you tap in, we feel your energy and your love coming back to us as well. So sending
And we appreciate you. Yeah. Give you a big kiss and a hug. And we appreciate you becoming part of our community family.
yes.
Okay. See you
Thank
later.
you. Okay, bye.
Bye.